back to its original creator. For those of y'all who don't know, back at BronyCon 2018, during the Bronies React, during the Q&A, I asked the crew, hey, has there been a panel or an event that you guys would like to see later on in the future that has never happened in a pony convention? And I mentioned sports Bronies, and a few years later, a couple of people online brought it up, and then this awesome gentleman right here got it in real icons, and now I'm holding the reins. So thanks, Red Card. Thank you.
You were just holding down the floor.
Yeah. But I will have to charge you. For all the hostings for the previous panels, thanks to the fee.
Excuse me?
The 20% cooler creator fee. I expect my $2 check to be in the mail by Tuesday after the con is over. All right. Anyways, what is up, guys? How is everybody's HarmonyCon doing? Been so far.
I love the energy in this room.
Yes.
Now.
Very light crowd.
Oh, we got two more.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost as many passes as there are people.
Can't take this out. I guess I could try to go in like this.
Yay, Blackhawks.
Power first. Gratuitous amount of energy. Chocolate energy. Because I am chocolate to an electrical store. Uncomfortably energetic. Strawberry. Real lightning. Sports. Oh, I'm looking good though. Energy.
These are energy puns.
Turbo puns. Energy, science, energy, electrolytes, turbolites, power lights, more lights than your body has room for. Slow down. Like, fuck you, and give your energy legs. Oh. You have so many babies. 400 babies. Sports. Abnormally fast. Kenya. Snake eyes.
All right, everybody. With that, we are officially on our way with the Sports Bronies panel. Woo! Yay! I am your host, the athletic Brony of Fritz Rowley, otherwise known as Harmonite, the one who takes flight, shines bright, and loves to sing out in the moonlight. And for those y'all don't know me, in the fandom, I am a content creator, reactor, reviewer, part-time voice actor. You may know me for a couple of things, such as a couple collaborations I did with Old Scribbler, and I also am known as being that guy who did the North Carolina Bronies React to the My Little Pony movie, the G5 version. But in the world of sports, my role ranges from die-hard sports fan to full-time athletes. I play golf on an amateur and collegiate club level, and actually this past fall season, our college actually ended up having the best performance it's ever done by being third place in the nation, and I myself ended up getting tied 13th in the nation out of 206 competitors with a score of 4 over par. And then as for the sports teams that I support, as you can see, South Florida teams represents Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Florida Panthers, but I also support teams in the New Jersey, New York area like the Giants, the Devils, the Nets, and also a couple miscellaneous teams such as the Steelers, the Saints, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Rockies, but that's also because my uncle's from Boulder, and he also gave me an Avalanche jersey or hat for Christmas as well. So why don't we do a few introductions to our panelists right here.
Hi everyone, my name is Red Card.
Hi, Red Card.
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Support all my Philly sports teams like the Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers Union, as well as the U.S. Olympic team, U.S. women's and men's national soccer teams. I have played some sports before. I played when I was in high school. I played soccer, basketball, tennis, and golf for 1 year when I was in high school. I was okay, I guess. Now I'm a certified referee, actually in soccer in Eastern Pennsylvania at the grassroots level. I'm currently working on my recertification for this year. But yeah, that's that's what I do.
I suppose you could an application to be a Premier League ref, right? It's not like they can get it.
That's a bit up there, to be honest.
No, it's not. Not right now. It isn't.
I mean, that's
Physical level.
yeah. It's pretty demanding.
Level, not so much.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi. Most people know me as the professional Starlight Woman fanatic in the fandom. I also now host a brand new podcast on Twitch called the Taylor and Coney podcast every other Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Y'all should go check that out and subscribe to the channel. And then I also run a variety of entertaining panels throughout any convention weekend, which, oddly enough, after this panel at 3:30 is my little match game. You should be there. As we go for sports, I'm a huge NASCAR fan, IndyCar, F1. I also root for the Los Angeles Rams and the Las Vegas Raiders in NFL. And yeah, I'm like kind of all over the board with sports right now.
Okay. Greetings. My name is Dan Mandan.
Hi, Dan.
Hello. I'm from Chicago. I usually hang around the two people to my right. If I come up from airports, it's conventions. But anyway, as far as sports go, mostly Chicago teams: the White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Flyers, as well as the Loyola Chicago. And nearby American Airlines Center is a special place for us regular fans. So my parents tournament games in 2018. And also I'm a curler. I've curled for about 18, almost 19 years now. So curling. Spoil the rocks room. So you have further questions on the person of contact. Outside of Chicago, I support the Florida Panthers, Wolverhampton Wanderers in the English Premier League, as well as the Seattle Seahawks and Baltimore Ravens. So that's me. What I do.
Hi, is this on?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm ajnrules.
Hi, AJ.
I don't do anything of substance in the fandom. I consider myself the parasite of the fandom. But I do like sports. My favorite sport is baseball, where I support the Texas Rangers. And they had a pretty good year in 2023. Never expected that to happen. Adrian Beltre just got elected to the Hall of Fame, which is nice. And recently got into hockey, which plays the Dallas Stars jersey. And we had American Airlines Center just down the street. And that was what's the game with this guy, but now he shows up in a Blackhawks jersey. They played the Blue Jackets in Las Vegas League. Yeah.
So, before we get down to open discussion and Q&A, I just want to ask you guys, what has been the highlights for you as like a sports fan or as an athlete throughout this past year?
In the past year, as far as Philly sports go, I can't really think of, much, especially speaking as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Oof. And after what happened last year, losing,
oh my gosh,
not only the Super Bowl, but also
all the major sports teams in the
World Series, MLS Cup. All within a couple months. I know you asked for highlights, but I'm blanking on a couple.
Oh boy.
What?
You crammed like years of Minnesota misery into like 3 months.
Fate just cannot be that cruel to like the sports fans, like losing 3 major championships in a couple months. That's a bit much. That's a tough pill to swallow. Sorry if I brought the mood in the panel down.
Well, I guess I will say for me, early this past year, it was definitely starting out to be a good year for South Florida sports teams. Heck, not only professionally, but also college-wise, since FAU and University of Miami both went to the Final Four. And I'm not gonna lie, it looked like we were kind of about to go in the same direction that you guys were the year before, where we did end up going to the championships, but did fell short, which for me that was fine, especially as a Panthers and a Heat fan. Like, I will admit this, Panthers, even though I do support them, they are my top favorite team, the Devils, but seeing them just be up there after like a long time, because the year before they were the President Trophy winners, and then they ended up getting like knocked out. Like, was it like
Second round, yeah.
Oh, second round, okay. And so now to see them like be in like, I think somewhere close to, were they like ranked 8th, I believe? Were they ranked?
They're the last team in.
Yeah, and then they managed to pull out a shocker against those dastardly Boston Bruins.
That was so funny.
And
It still remains funny.
And also, but they did end up falling short, but that was good right there. But then the second half, I will admit, the Marlins and the Dolphins, they did go to the wild card, but to be honest, I feel like, I know some people on Twitter like to freaking poke fun at the fact that, the Miami Dolphins didn't do anything about their season, despite the fact that they did. Honestly, their performance in the regular season was better than what the Marlins did, despite the fact that the Marlins also made it to the wild card. But I don't know.
A question for a South Florida guy there. I'm about to needle you so bad, but my cousin was Georgia. She goes to Georgia Tech, which means I got to see that college game that Georgia Tech and Miami had. Whatever happened to y'all's coach after that?
I don't really follow college basketball that much, but and also, college football? I don't do that either. Sorry. I always wait until the draft.
That was the funniest thing after watching my own college football and watching that game. That game was ridiculous.
Have you forgotten about the state
Speaking of college football, how about that selection committee?
Trust me, I was salty, but then after the Georgia game, I was like, okay, understandable.
I'm sorry to say, but I'm very glad it happened. It meant my college got to go to a New Year's Six bowl. Otherwise, we would have been bounced out because of how archaic that whole system is.
Well, at least the field for the college football playoff will be a lot bigger, in next year going forward.
12 teams.
Yeah.
Ole Miss will win the national championship next year. We're not, but I hope.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Ole Miss Rebels.
I don't know why the NCAA in the first place thought that 4 teams for for a playoff was a good idea. That's such a small size.
Do you see complaints about getting like now it doesn't matter anymore?
College, like that's how many teams are.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the problem. Here's the problem.
Like major leagues. Like that was
Well, and here's the problem with that. It's only for Division One. Division Two, Division Three, you would have playoffs that lasted 5 weeks just because how many schools there were. So that, in my opinion, was a good point. That being said, it feels like they're trying to bandage the damage. Now the Pac-12 looks like it's about to die.
It is dead.
And they're too late. They're too late. Like when you got 5 conferences trying to cram in 4 spots, and sometimes a conference gets 2 of those spots, someone's gonna lose. And yeah, that happened. The Pac-12 drew the short straw the last couple of years.
I think the SEC makes sense. The ACC now has specific schools in it, so explain that one.
Yeah.
So is the Big Ten.
Yeah, you got the Big Ten, and you got Southern Cal and UCLA over there.
And now Oregon and Washington.
Now we're gonna Washington.
When the NCAA first came up with this CFP idea, I think what was it, 2014 they came up
I think
with it?
2013 was when they came up with that,
Okay.
but it wasn't until 2014-15 season that it got handled.
Okay, the idea of just having 4 teams like means that I can think I can mention a select few that have dominated college football, Division I college football, and over the years, and that includes a couple, Alabama, yeah, and just having 4 means that it almost seems like I know that the selections are I guess for lack of a better word subjective, but with how I know that at least one of those teams is going to be Alabama, or Georgia, which are 2 SEC schools, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't follow much college football, but I know I guess the mechanics of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily that it's just Alabama or just Traverse or both. It's just the fact that you know at least one SEC team, no matter what, no matter what.
Which is, in considering how small the sample size is kind of unfair to the rest of them.
Yeah. Now that being said, I don't necessarily disagree because the SEC teams did well, like they're really using them. But this year, in particular, we had probably the most competitive SEC that we've had in a long time, and the numbers shook out that, in my opinion, there should not have been an SEC team. And if there was, it should have been Georgia. Even if it wasn't, it should have been.
And with the larger, with the large number of teams going forward.
Power 5 champions get in automatically, so no more of the permutations there. And then 7, they can leave the subjectivity of the 07 days.
Yeah.
And someone's always going to complain. There's just no way around that. But there's a lot less to complain about when you are the 13th team looking in versus when you're 15th.
If you ask me, I think that it the idea that I had was probably a certain number of teams from each conference. I mean I know there's a lot of conferences, I know that, but an idea would probably be maybe if it was more than 12, you have a certain number of teams from each conference that get automatic, but like the NCAA basketball tournament, you get
Champions automatic.
get an automatic bid into the tournament, something like that. Not just to leave it up to the subjectivity of the committee. Yeah, you had a question.
I work for the league at the time when all that stuff started. The only reason that there was a 4-team playoff in the first place was because they didn't expect a top 5 team. They thought it was going to narrow itself down or it would narrow itself down. Now that the local players start to opt out, that's why they moved to 12 teams in the first place. They said, we don't want to lose out on the money and everything. So this is a lot easier to do 12. And they said, if you're starting to think about it for next year or you should see absolutely see the 9 and 3 into the playoff.
state
Well,
job.
that was
You, that was the toughest championship.
It was not, it was because the biggest entities were made, it wasn't because they weren't qualified, it was pick one or the other, or we can't pick, well, we all get left out.
Yeah, and then there was no championship games, there was no singular winner, it was still championship.
There's a lot of politics that go into the committee and how they pick out teams and everything, like what y'all said about the SEC, like, you're not leaving the SEC team, that's how this is not big. As we get to 12, sure, there could be things, but it's just like today, y'all saw the news about the Big Ten and the SEC, like having their own, like, we're gonna address college football, but just us two. It looks like they're beginning to step
Superman.
well, they don't want Congress involved, which is what Tennessee and Virginia are trying to force. So they're like, we'll solve it. So it's starting to get to that big two power.
Best college playoff.
Yeah,
Best college playoff system is baseball.
baseball.
What's college baseball over basketball?
I think the original question was that, you know, like you were gonna ask, like the highlight.
Yeah, just highlights, yeah. We just want to. Yeah.
We're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, we want to try to get back on topic.
Yeah, so the other,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that.
He's still thinking about the staff from the last panel.
Staff of sanity. See, I need a little bit of sanity up here right about now. So I don't have many highlights. I have low moments because all my sports teams did absolute junk this year. Because my Rams came close to getting close to the Super Bowl, but we were evidently beat by Detroit, who I still wanted in the Super Bowl. I'm still telling you, this whole NFL thing was rigged from day one. I'm not kidding you.
If it was rigged, I think it would have been for the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. It would have been Baltimore because the color. Yeah, the logo. Which, by the way, I took next year's logo.
Oh, come on. The Baltimore Ravens don't even beat the Steelers.
That is true. That is true. The only thing that the Ravens can.
1 second. One of those games was Doug Rubber, so that doesn't count.
Twice, dude. Twice.
One of those was dead rubber, and the Steelers got in by their usual way by accident. So
I think this would cause Dan Campbell and his entire coaching staff to somehow destroy the hands every single one.
When Matt Canada was still working.
Oh my God.
He freaking sucks.
It certainly seems like the 2023 was not a good year for sports fans.
depends on what sport.
Yeah, it depends on the sport. It depends on the team.
depends on
Yeah,
the sport, depends on the team.
what I'm saying is, you know, like my teams have had a mediocre or worse year. Your teams had a pretty rough year.
Mine had a rough year.
Yeah.
What?
Formula One, lights out the way we go, and Max Verstappen takes it home every single race.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I want to also discount their sloppiness during the Vegas Grand Prix because this is in my town now, and barely 5 minutes into practice, a pothole comes up.
Yeah, I heard the whole Vegas thing was
You know what?
stripes, just the shoddy preparation.
And midnight start time,
Yeah.
Central time.
And you want to know like what's worse is that they have a contract with F1 for the next couple of years, so we're going to continue to see that shoddy preparation.
On the subject of F1, there was news recently a couple days ago before coming out here that Michael Andretti's bid to run a Formula One car was shot down.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I know.
car. I'm saying, please watch it. It's the best racing out there.
You know what?
F1 has become a joke lately. It really has. You know, like it may be world class to some people, like some of the ultra rich, but not anymore.
Speaking of F1 and jokes, Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was announced yesterday.
You didn't know? Oh.
Yeah, he this will be his last season with Merck, and he's going to Ferrari.
Maybe
He
Mercedes.
is not a Ferrari type of driver.
Yeah, he actually
Publicly, he wants to drive a Ferrari.
when he's not driving for Ferrari.
So here's the thing that really takes me.
My thought is like Ferrari is like the Alabama, University of Alabama of Formula One. I'm serious. Like,
I would argue they're more like the Dallas Cowboys, that they have a history of success and lately
they've fallen apart. Yeah, but historically speaking, they've been seen as like a dark horse.
Yeah, they are certainly one of the names you associate with.
Yeah.
There's no getting
But like and like Ferrari, McLaren, who else?
Mercedes.
Yeah. Mercedes.
Oh, you said McLaren already.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about F1 that I find so fascinating. So they want more races here in the United States, but they're like, oh no, we can't have any more United States race teams in our sports. That's not good. We'll take the money, but we don't want teams.
I mean, like I know that Gene Haas has fielded an F1 team, but I mean, but they've yet to see, really any serious success, and the idea of Michael Andretti being team principal of his own F1 team, like, prize serious success in like an F1, and that was shot down. I don't know what management is thinking there. Like even the FIA approved it, but the F1 bosses shot it down. I mean, like how do you not also approve it if the FIA approves it?
Right, and Andretti has been a name that's been around for centuries.
Like it's synonymous with World Championship racing. Like you think speed, you think racing.
He's won the Big Three. He's won IndyCar. He's won NASCAR. Mario.
To be precise, Mario won the Daytona 500, won the Indy 500,
69,
and then the Formula One Championship in 1978.
How do you not have an Andretti involved in F1 today? Is beyond me.
Yeah, considering that he goes on Twitter after the announcement and just absolutely devastated. Like,
oh, I bet.
Because I've said this from day one, but F1 is becoming the country club of motorsports. it really is. Like,
It's already one.
It's already been one, but now they're making it even clearer by not allowing, an American team to race in the sports.
I never. Did FOM give a reason like why they're denying this application?
So here's their best response, and I laugh at this. It's not going to bring relevancy into the sports.
Well, in fact, the opposite is probably going to be true.
Exactly.
It's going to bring relevancy back into F1.
Exactly, and they're saying, oh, they're not going to bring us in any money here.
You know what that tells me? They just don't care.
No.
But
they're allowing like teams like Alfa
Romeo,
and all these other crap teams running in the back, and they're saying, well, this thing's not going to be competitive. Well, how the hell do you not know that?
I don't understand what in NASCAR, and even for for the Indy 500, you have to qualify your way in.
Mm-hmm.
But in F1 qualifying, there's in each race, they have the maximum amount, and everyone gets in. Why can't they just have more teams on the season roster, and then just have them qualify in? It makes it a little bit more competitive, a little bit more exciting.
Qualifiers matter.
Yeah. Do what NASCAR and the Indy 500 do. Go or go home.
Yeah, because I can understand the set limit, because I know IndyCar's got their own kind of set limit, but the point being is one or two more cars is not going to hurt anybody.
Or even 4 more race teams, two cars for each. That's basically the norm for F1 nowadays.
Yeah, and considering that, they're racing in all the, not so good countries right now. You got Saudi Arabia, you've got Abu Dhabi, you've got Bahrain, all these.
Las Vegas.
Hey,
That was a joke.
to be fair, Las Vegas took Russia's date, so
Las Vegas, the town is great. The strip sucks.
yes, as a resident there right now, I'm sorry. Because my town spent months and months trying to prep this race, and then they go on.
That's taxpayer money too.
That's my money going into that shoddy construction.
Like they didn't put anything effort for it. I think we should put it.
Yes. Okay. So this is this past year, right?
Yep.
Okay, so White Sox also over 100 games. The Fire missed the playoffs for the sixth straight year. They've not won a playoff game since 2009. Red Stars were bombing the NWSL. The Hawks, they did get the first draft pick. They got Connor Bedard and F.U. Brendan Smith.
I'm salty about that because I'm a Ducks fan.
Too bad.
Don't forget Tim Anderson getting knocked out.
Yes.
Oh, but Corey Perry on that. It was funny for like a day.
It wasn't funny at all. And also Taylor Ross out for the season. So at least the NASCAR Chicago Street Race went off well, I thought.
I thought it did too.
Yeah. So that's a highlight. Plus, well, it's off to a good start this year. We're 62 in the A10 in third place. Will be Davidson on Sunday. And yeah, that's after Oil finished last in the A10 their first year, which they finished last in their first year in the Missouri Valley Conference, and you know what happened 5 years later. So it's better than what the Paul's doing in the Big East, which is consistently finishing last. But anyway, so there were highlights, but of course the Panthers getting to the Stanley Cup final, and then I also follow Washington State College football, so that was fun until the national title game. And then there's Loyola in the street race, so there were some positive moments. And I'm sure this guy has some highlights.
Yes.
It was a good year for Rangers fans. Yeah.
Especially Dewey.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was it. I mean, Morrison hit the ball on the first ballot already. I think that seals it.
Still needs to get his record over 500. Still like 10 games below 500.
Well, I was hoping that portion would be more positive than this next portion, but I guess we can now leave it down to. I was trying to lighten the mood in this panel.
It's sometimes being a sports. But I think the moral of the story here is being a sports fan is hard.
Yes, the struggle is real.
Well, being a devoted sports fan.
Oh, yeah.
Bandwagoners just
Yeah.
chase glory every chance they get.
And then when you become like a full-time athlete on top of that, like me, like
It becomes hard. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
It's like when that's happening directly at you or to you, that's a tough pill to swallow.
yeah, absolutely. But sometimes you just gotta run with the routine and keep going. But anyway, so now I say let's just leave it down to open discussion as well as Q&A. So what do you guys want to talk about? Do we want to talk about the big? I wouldn't say football game. If anything, it's more of a foosball.
Well, I
Foosball
actually
game.
got I actually got something.
Is it what I think it is?
Who recently heard or actually let me give a little bit of context first. Who remembers the 2022 Winter Olympics that happened in Beijing?
Oh, yeah.
The whole controversy involving a certain 15-year-old then 15-year-old Russian figure skater named Kamila Valieva.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
She's got banned.
Well, her ban was upheld and she was disqualified officially, meaning that her scores for the team event for the team event and for I think for the singles event that she competed in, which she actually did not medal in. But what's more important is the team event. Her scores were disallowed, and basically that drops that drops that drops Russia or ROC down to basically the bronze, and that would. But now the IOC has yet to ratify officially ratify the numbers, but that would give the United States their first team gold medal. And now on the other side of this, you also have Team Canada, who thought that they should have gotten a bronze because okay, how the team competition is organized is you have like men's and women's singles. You have a pairs, and then you have an ice ice dance. And so it's not necessarily that. It's like if you place like a certain way in your respective event that's part of the team competition, you are given a certain number of points based on where you finished. So let's say that you are at the top of the leaderboard for the ladies singles after the free skate. You that skater will be given 10 points towards her team, and if you finish second, you're given 9 points, and then third 8 points, and so on, and those add up. So with Valieva disqualified, you had a Canadian, I think, a Canadian skater in the ladies singles that came behind her, and when I looked at I've been looking at Wikipedia at with the numbers, the standings posted, and it shows Valieva basically crossed out with a red backdrop saying disqualified, but it still had a crossed out 10 next to it with the Canadian skater left at 9. And I think what Canada's going to do is they're going to appeal to the International Skating Union and say that should be readjusted, and the Canadians given one point more, and then the same thing for the rest of the field. And so basically, right now, it still shows the ROC in third they would have a bronze medal if nothing happened. But if what would happen is right now it has Canada in fourth, 1 point behind the ROC. ROC has shown with 54 points and Canada with 53. So if they gave one more point to Canada, it's actually in two competitions in which this is relevant. So if they were given 1 point in each of those competitions, that would actually move the Canadians above the Russians, and that would give them the bronze medal, and that's what Canada is appealing to the ISU. So and I kind of agree with that. I think that those points should be adjusted.
Regarding vacated titles, I guess kind of go back to culture. But 20 years ago, there was a scandal out of UFC where they were illegally paying some of their players, and so their titles were vacated.
Which sport is this in?
It's called football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now this isn't like a points adjustment. This is straight up. They played in the title game. They won.
Right.
Back. But now that title's been vacated.
It's like being vacated. It's as though they never played at all.
Pretty much. Well, sort of like every other game happened, just not that one.
Yeah. Well, so there's basically no title award for
Nobody won the title that year, according to the law, which is really weird. You had an undefeated team
Well, I mean, it's the whole, like, you know, how does you know, something like that get resolved? But that's kind of a messy situation. You know, like if you're playing, like if you're playing in a playoff bracket style, you know, championship, like there has to be some way to resolve that instead of just simply vacating and acting as though that game never happened, because it did happen. Like and with you know, like a championship awarded like with what goes by, you know, standings, you know, it's easy. You just cancel out it's a one score, it moves everyone else up. As simple as that. I don't understand why, you know, like other you know, team sports, like say, like, you know, in college basketball, college football, why they don't have a solution for, like, you know, giving those trophies to the team that lost to them, and under unfair circumstances. I mean, because even though because it's doubly unfair that they were playing a team under unfair circumstances, but it's doubly unfair that they don't get the title because of that. So there has to be something to
There has to be a mechanism.
right, like for, you know, like skating, in like some, you know, Olympic sports, gymnastics, something like that, they have a mechanism. Like about 13 years ago, the Chinese women's gymnastics team that competed in Sydney was disqualified because they had underage gymnasts competing on their team, and the minimum age limit for a gymnast, the FIG has set for a gymnast to compete at least for women is 16, and the FIG and the IOC has found evidence that there has documentation that at the time they were under the legal age in what we'd say were to compete, so they disqualified them, and that moved Team USA up into the Bronies. So I mean, but there has to be some kind of contingency for, you know, for like a bracket-based championship, and I can't believe there isn't. But but I mean, I hope that, you know, that I don't understand what's taken the IOC so long to ratify the results of the figure skating from Beijing.
Bribes.
Well, I mean, it didn't. I mean, in the case of the Chinese gymnast from Sydney, I mean, I don't think it took them long at all. I mean, it was. I mean, once they were disqualified, they lost that medal. But in the case of the figure skating, I mean, they had postponed the medal ceremony. I mean, they didn't even have it, so no medals were awarded. So, I mean, and I mean, it's a whole. I mean, but I want to go back to what I said during my sports Bronies panel back in when we had it at HarmonyCon in 2022. Technically Valieva didn't do anything wrong. She was 15 at the time. She, like, her entourage basically left her out to dry, and she ends up being the victim. And it's really sad
and very cruel, especially to
For
like a minor.
15-year-old.
Yeah, a minor.
You're as a skater, you are basically relying on your coaches and the rest of your team as like a support system, and they basically ignored her, which is it's a really sad situation, and this has been debated numerous times, and, you know, Russia has a history of anti-doping violations involving performance-enhancing drugs, and it's not a good situation. and like Russia as for using the country's flag, the country's anthem, and the name, were after right before after 2016 they were banned from using that because of what happened in Sochi, and there was like a whole state-sponsored doping thing. It's really good, and it's really not a good situation, and it goes back to the days of when that team was the Soviet Union team. It's not a good legacy to have.
Have you seen the documentary Icarus?
I remember watching that right before HarmonyCon.
I haven't seen it.
It's basically about the Russian doping for Sochi.
Yeah. It's a really sad situation.
Oh, well, anyway, right now we have just around 15 minutes left at this panel, so does anybody have any questions they want to spill out? It doesn't have to be too sports affiliated, it can also be about anything.
Bueller?
Anyone? Oh,
Yes. Well, considering the next gen package still sucks in the short tracks, I'm being very blunt with you on that one. It's going to be a very interesting season because we got Shane Van Gisbergen that's going to come over and run a few cup races this year. He's going to run an Xfinity Series schedule full time this year. Also, we're going to have, it's not been announced yet, but Frankie Muniz has also picked up an Xfinity ride for this year. So most of you know him from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
so
Agent Banks as well.
Yep. And so it's going to be an interesting season, and I've said that now 3 times, so take a drink every time I say interesting. But so Ford and Toyota have new bodies this year, so on these new next gen cars, and 9 times out of 10, these new bodies take a little bit of time to come in to their own because teams are still figuring out how to set up the car and whatnot because practice right now doesn't really exist like it did pre-COVID. Because all they get is 20 damn minutes of practice to figure out these cars before they go out to qualify and to race.
But don't they do preseason testing?
No, preseason testing is dead.
Oh, because of COVID?
That and Brian France as well, and first cocaine addiction.
Oh, don't get me started on Brian France.
I could go on to a long tangent on that, on him and the France family altogether, but since we don't have time for that, that'll be a discussion for yet another day.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to the season. Obviously, got the Clash this weekend in LA, depending on the nature doesn't interfere with anything, which it typically does for NASCAR, because why wouldn't it be NASCAR without any bit of rain in the area?
How many rain delays were there last season? It was quite a lot.
Too many.
Yeah,
Wow.
including the one in Chicago, so.
Yeah, and the race was actually shortened because of darkness, and
Yeah.
that's how Van Gisbergen made his name in the sport.
That was actually really impressive. Like in his first Cup start, they actually won. Like I was really impressed by that.
It was impressive.
From Supercars' perspective, it's not that surprising. The Supercars and NASCAR is pretty similar. The only big difference I would say is the aerodynamics are slightly different. Once again, I will completely hype IndyCar, and it's both great series. Please watch.
I went to a couple of races in Milwaukee, and also somewhat bittersweet, the 2011 Indy 500.
Are you planning on doing the Milwaukee Mile races? Now that
We'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah, it's glad to see both Milwaukee and Road America on the schedule again.
Yeah.
In Indy cars, so.
Anyhow, I guess sort of, yeah,
And
please
Gateway.
watch, they're great. Other than that, though, I completely forgot my question for mine. My brain farted. I'm so sorry.
Hockey fans.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw within the last couple of hours, the NHL is allowing their players to participate in the season.
Really?
What?
Yes, the end of an era. So it'll be exciting to see that again.
It was exciting when they were in Vancouver and Sochi.
Well, yeah,
Please
that was
don't get me
the
started on
last time we saw
Vancouver.
NHL players.
Please don't.
Oh,
get me
no,
started on
oh, no.
Vancouver Olympics, please.
I can bring up something else in 2010, but I'll leave that away. So, but yeah, continue.
Well, I was gonna say, the immediate reaction has been weird because like when we first met, like they announced the players, but now it's like, you know, it's always gonna be USA, Canada, maybe Sweden, Finland, shot. Now it is Canada. It's like we have to play the amateur players.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, is it the right thing to
It's only
do?
beneficial
Yes,
for
but
it's only beneficial for Germany and Finland with those two Olympics.
that was your guys' reaction to that. Good thing, bad thing, right decision.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, to me, it is what it is. So.
We're all gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it pretty much.
I think, you know, the initial decision is the NHL didn't want to have a 2-week break in the middle of the season, especially because they already have the All-Star break. But it sounds like they've found a way to work it out so the All-Star weekend is going to be like right before the Winter Olympics, and then everybody flies out, comes back a month later.
Yeah, the thing about 2014 is we had about 10 Blackhawks on various teams.
Yeah.
Keith, Sharp, Hossa, Chalmerson.
Didn't want those players missing out on the season because that's basketball.
I actually have another hockey question.
Okay.
Yep.
What are the odds for another future expansion team in the NHL? And on top of that, what are the odds they may be sort of?
Ooh.
I can answer this question.
Yep.
Go
The
first.
odds of an expansion are very low,
Mhm.
but the NHL have been talking with Salt Lake City, so signs are pointing to moving the Arizona Coyotes out of the fucking college.
Who puts a hockey team in a desert?
Desert.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman has now done it
Gary
twice.
Bettman.
Problem
Wow.
is the second time succeed. Well, I would say problem. I think I call it very well done success. But yeah, the Coyotes, they've been laughably bad the last 3 years. Nobody goes to their games, so they want out, and everyone wants them out except for the ownership apparently. But it sounds like they're going to Salt Lake City or Houston.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as Atlanta, you would need a team out of the East to really, really struggle if you wanted to go back to Atlanta. And
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone back after
Atlanta's lost 2 hockey teams, mind you. They lost the Flames to Calgary.
The first one was lack of interest. The second one was just shitty ownership. I kind of
If my spirit, if they disappeared and explode, I would be very happy. I think
You guys
Not only that, you lost these hockey teams to Canadian cities. Like it's the second coming of the Winnipeg Jets.
If you ask me, if there were, if any relocation or expansion were to happen, I mean, I don't expect another expansion to happen anytime soon. I mean, they just had Seattle join.
well, and that brought it up to 32 teams.
Yes.
And the reason, that's important because now you have 4 equal divisions of 8 teams. If you want to bring in a couple more expansion teams, you have to do 4.
And starting a team's not easy, and it's also not cheap either.
Yeah, well, and it further dilutes the talent pool, which as the game grows, you're going to get more talent in the game, and then it becomes viable. But more than that, it affects scheduling. So if you've got 4 divisions of 9 teams, you right now we're at an 82-game season. If you want everybody to play everyone, it's a nightmare to schedule.
Yes.
But the way that kind of speaks out to me is instead of 2x9 in college, you have 3x6, and you can play the teams in your division twice, and the teams in the other divisions, twice once away or vice versa or whatever, and then once the other way. But that way, A, you have balanced division finals. B, adding too many teams, I guess, at once, but again, that's a very distant question. And C, you have markets that are ready to go that can accept these teams. Salt Lake City's already been mentioned, but there's
What about
also
Quebec City?
Yeah, Quebec City, come back northeast.
Yeah.
Houston, who are the biggest city in Texas, like the biggest single city in Texas, and they have a minor league team that they're pretty big fans of. So in Seattle, and look at how they've embraced the crowd. Put a team in Houston and see how it goes. Or if they fail, you can bring back the Kansas City Scouts. Over in the East, you can bring back the Atlanta Thrashers if you really want to, or try another city in the East. Get a team in Wisconsin, get Milwaukee.
Fun fact, they almost put a team in Milwaukee in the late 80s.
Yeah.
It'll be owned by the Petits. However, they bought to the expansion fee. They're going to put it in Bradley Center. That was the original purpose of the Bradley Center, not the box. But because
That would be the two. They went to.
let's see, it was first San Jose and then Ottawa and Tampa and then Anaheim and Florida.
Yeah, and Florida, Ottawa, San Jose.
I think the NHL is really like the fourth most popular, the big four leagues.
It's about to drop to fifth, actually.
Fifth with NLS, and that league's expensive.
Here's the weird thing. I think it's going to jump back to the fourth. Even though this year was baseball is still not down to the slides.
You know what the wild card in all this is for at least baseball and hockey? The thing with Diamond Sports Group and Gallop.
Now it's going to Amazon.
We're ready to do a lot of these red card. But anyway, with the whole thing with Diamond Sports Group and where else? Well, we already got the Yankees on Amazon, or they have their own.
And we have the NFL on Thursday nights.
Right.
We're gonna have NASCAR.
All that was.
I'll take the Yankees on Amazon.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a question by Mankind. What do you got?
Don't do it again. But yeah, how many of you guys are baseball fans? You guys,
Yankees.
Are you guys pay attention to
Oh, God.
the A situation?
It's kind of a messy, kind of a sad situation that Oakland is about to lose its last professional sports team.
Yeah.
Now it's Vegas and Salt Lake.
Yeah, and like they lost the Raiders, they lost the Golden State Warriors to San Francisco. Now they're about to lose the A's.
They're about to lose the Dave Warriors too.
I will.
Wait, what?
They're about to go back to San Francisco.
We're gonna go back to the San Francisco Warriors.
I will say this: at least they don't have to play in that stadium anymore because it's not that great.
It's deteriorating.
It was made worse by the Davis family. So
Yeah. Anyway,
I think that's all.
let AGN here.
I think that's all a vanity project by John Fisher and Rob Manfred. I think they don't have a plan of like getting into Las Vegas. They just basically.
Vegas was like we want them, and Oakland was like we want out. No plan to transfer.
Yeah.
Plus, why are you proposing an open air stadium in Vegas?
No one is going to attend a game in 115
degree
degrees.
heat. No one.
no.
And if you don't believe us, Rangers fan.
Only
That's
got,
the whole reason they built my fields is they don't want to
only got up to 107.
I remember when if anyone played a weekend road trip at Arlington, the old ballpark, they had the Sunday night.
Yeah. Those were great. Night games were amazing. But day games,
I can't imagine.
You're sitting in the plastic seats are just soaking in the sun. There's no heat pressure whatsoever.
I still like the ballpark. I still like field.
There's anyone who's big on soccer. Is Fisher's other team, San Jose, has he actually put any money into them yet? This is the same story. It feels like the same story. There was supposed to be money in San Jose, and last I checked, there was not money. They still have money.
I don't actually have a contender this year. I do.
Other leagues like probably
But
Only when the Vegas stadium. That's literally it.
yeah, the new stadium is right by Manila Airport, right?
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, I used to live there.
I've been there, so,
Oh well. Anyways, looks like we are just about to wrap up. So as a way to finish this panel, because it's kind of been a little bit boring, but let's end this off with something exciting. I know we are in Cowboys country, but and
How about the Cowboys?
I'm probably gonna run when this is playing. So.
can't hear it.
yeah, it's not Yeah, Bobby, talk about that.
Here's what I think will be the best athlete in the swimming universe.
I don't think it's even possible.
Yeah.
No contest.
Tony Fleets.
Of all the games that I got to see from this year, I had to attend games
Best game out of good this year was game 1 of the World Series. That was,
Game 1 in 2005.
How about them Cowboys? Oh well. And so with that, I guess that is going to be a wrap on Gallop for the Gold, a Sports Bronies panel. I hope you guys enjoyed your time and learned something today. And I am the athletic Brony, Fritz Rulli, otherwise known as Harmonite.
Red card.
Taylor.
Stand Dan.
AJ
And we hope you enjoy the rest of your HarmonyCon weekend.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I am close to 1K, 20 away from 1K.